for this part of the Mycobacterium lecture series, we will be discussing the different tests and also touch on the structure of the organism itself. Okay, so this is a typical illustration of how a cell envelope structure of a Mycobacterium tuberculosis appear schematically. So you can see how complex the structure of the Mycobacterium tuberculosis cell wall is compared to the usual na gram-positive and gram-negative organisms. So all of these parts are crucial in its virulence and resistance and also the survival mechanism. So first, let's check on the surface components. So makikita nyo yung surface proteins and also the superficial lipids dito. Okay. So the surface proteins, of course, so these are important in host cell attachment. So the parts of a bacterial cell wall usually na nasa superficial part, mostly for attachment yan sila. And also for immune modulation and also virulence na rin, but mostly for attachment. And then these superficial lipids and sulfolipids, so they are trying to modulate the host immune system, so para hindi sila masyadong ma-detect, and also they contribute in the formation of granuloma. While for this particular side naman, the porin proteins, so when we say porin or porins, mostly ang role nila is allowing or not allowing certain molecules to cross the layers of the cell wall. So for the porin protein, it will facilitate selective transport of small na mga molecules papunta sa intracellular parts of the Mycobacterium tuberculosis, which are usually impermeable for other parts of the membrane. So para silang special channels for special substances para makapasok sa loob ng makapasok sa loob ng organism. So mostly, they maintain the influx of nutrients here, and most of the time din, sila yung tinatarget ng mga drugs against Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Next, this one is a very important na virulence factor of the Mycobacterium tuberculosis. So this is what we call as the cord factor. So this is a toxic glycolipid. So it is called as a cord factor kasi it allows the parang serpentine cord-like growth of Mycobacterium tuberculosis in vitro. So this contributes also to granuloma formation, and it prevents the fusion of phagosomes with lysosomes and macrophages. If you can remember, in the previous video, there is an instance na papasok si Mycobacterium tuberculosis sa loob ng macrophage. So that's the phagosome. The usual trend is that once a foreign body is now inside a phagocyte, which in this case is the macrophage, may papasok dyan na lysosome containing the substances that is supposed to kill the organism na swallow nung WBC. But because of cord factor, it prevents now the fusion of that lysosome na pumasok doon sa phagosome. So hindi siya ngayon nakikill ng macrophage internally. That's why nagsasurvive siya sa loob and it continues to divide. So that's why it's very important. This is a very important virulence factor of the Mycobacterium tuberculosis. So don't forget about cord factor. So sometimes you see this named as trehalose dimycolate. So if you see this one, it's just the cord factor. Okay. Now these lipoarabinomannan, so these are, or the LAMs, these ones naman are also immunomodulatory molecule. And if you can remember the lipopolysaccharide of the gram-negative organism, so it's similar in terms of function. So once na-release siya, it will now inhibit the production of cytokines by the T cells. And so it decreases the immune mechanism response of the host. So iyan yung contribution niya in the virulence. So para siyang lipopolysaccharide of gram-negative bacteria. Now the mycolic acid layer, yan. So it's part of the MAGP or the mycolyl arabinogalactan peptidoglycan complex. So it is synthesized by this structure, and ito yung part na may mycolic acids ang organism. Mycolic acid. So this confers the antibiotic resistance and immune evasion of the Mycobacterium tuberculosis, and it's also targeted by the drug. So ito din yung part kung bakit resistant to acid decolorization ang Mycobacterium tuberculosis. So peptidoglycan layer is just similar to the gram-positive bacteria, but it's just linked to the arabinogalactan. So by the virtue of gram staining, Mycobacterium tuberculosis are considered na gram-positive. If ever man, they will stain with gram stain. So take note of that. Kasama siya, di ba, sa exception na all bacilli are negative except for Mycobacterium, Bacillus, ganun. So this is an important part of the Mycobacterium tuberculosis cell wall. Okay, so that's that. Let's go to discussing the different culture and culture media specifically. So kanina, nagsabi tayo na merong different types of culture media. So merong semi-synthetic agar media, merong inspissated egg media, and broth media. So for the culture, the Mycobacterium tuberculosis is an aerobe, but if you also want to enhance the growth of the organism, you can put it in a 5 to 10% carbon dioxide na atmospheric condition. So the requirement for pH is about 6.5 to 6.8 for Mycobacterium tuberculosis. So tinatawag natin na inspissated egg media or the egg-based media yung certain group of culture media because they consist of actual eggs. So whole eggs or egg yolks, tapos may potato flour, and other ingredients like glycerol and malakitrin. So it's obvious based on the color of the culture media. So bakit kailangan ng egg yolk? Kasi that's the source of lipid for the organism. And yung glycerol naman is the source of energy. So ano yung shelf life ng media? It's usually 1 year. So pwede nyo siya itago for 1 year. Now, what are the examples of egg-based media? So, memorize these one, Lowenstein-Jensen. So, pag nakakita kayo ng LJ, so that's Lowenstein-Jensen, an egg-based media for Mycobacterium tuberculosis. And that's the most commonly used egg-based media. So, meron ding American Thoracic Society or the ATS, usually used for sterile specimens, and Petragnani medium. So, this is naman for trying to recover mycobacteria, tapos you know that the specimen is heavily contaminated. So that Petragnani medium has a higher concentration of malachite green, while the Wallenstein medium naman is for Mycobacterium avium complex growth. So these are the egg-based media. So pag sinabi namang serum agar-based, it contains somehow serum, bovine albumin, meron pa ring glycerol, and malachite green. And yung purpose of having albumin is to protect AFB against toxic agents, while yung oleic acid naman is a source of the lipids and energy, and casein is for recovery of isoniazid resistant na strains of Mycobacterium tuberculosis. So this is how its growth looks like. So what are other serum agar-based media? So kasama dyan si Middlebrook agar and si Murchison agar. So the Middlebrook or the MH media, 7H10 and 7H11. So ito yung sabi ko kaninang semi-synthetic agar media. So they contain nalidixic acid, carbenicillin, lincomycin, amphotericin B, and cyclohexamide. And it also contains the casein hydrolysate. Just like in the previous na sample. And also albumin. So that's for neutralizing the toxic and inhibitory effects of the fatty acids in the specimen. This Murchison 7H11 naman is the semi-synthetic agar-based media similar to Petragnani na yun yung ginagamit if heavily contaminated yung specimen. For example, sputum. Kasi di ba we know na sputum can contain a lot of organisms, hindi lang Mycobacterium, pati mga normal flora. So, kaya kailangan siya ng heavy decontamination. So, what now are the different biochemical tests for Mycobacterium tuberculosis? So, example is niacin test. So, this niacin test detects the deficiency of enzyme that will convert free niacin to niacin ribonucleotide. So it's usually utilized as a biochemical test for detecting or identifying Mycobacterium tuberculosis. So merong nicotinic acid, it will react with cyanogen bromide in the presence of a certain amine, which will produce a yellow pigmented compound. So yun yung nakikita natin, yellow pigmented compound. So si Mycobacterium tuberculosis is positive for niacin test. And example of a negative reaction is walang yellow. That is for other Mycobacterium species. So example, Mycobacterium bovis. So again, si Mycobacterium tuberculosis ay positive sa niacin. So positive if may color change, which is yellow. If walang color change, so that's negative. So how long do we observe? This is done for 15 to 30 minutes at room temperature. So this is another picture that shows positive. This one, yellow. So makikita niyo siya sa filter paper. This one, negative. So this can be done on culture colonies na 3 to 4 weeks old na. Dapat at least 50 colonies at a Lowenstein-Jensen medium. Kasi if young pa yung cultures, baka hindi pa sila negative pa yan sila in that test. So that's why kailangan older ang culture. Again, what is the principle of the test? It's detecting deficiency of the enzyme that will convert free niacin to niacin ribonucleotide. So the niacin or the nicotinic acid is produced largely by Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Next, nitrate reduction test. So anong dinedetect naman natin dito? Nitroreductase. So this is an enzyme which reduces nitrate to nitrite to nitrogen gas. Again, nitroreductase. So it is positive for Mycobacterium tuberculosis, Mycobacterium kansasii, and Mycobacterium zulgae. Pero ang important is positive si Mycobacterium tuberculosis. So, ang ability of the organism to reduce nitrate to nitrite and eventually to nitrogen gas is depending also on the age of the colonies. So, if slow-growing siya, just like Mycobacterium tuberculosis, dapat yung colonies ay 3 to 4 weeks old na before i-test. So, this distinguishes Mycobacterium tuberculosis from other members of the Mycobacterium tuberculosis complex. And it also separates Mycobacterium fortuitum from other non-tuberculosis mycobacteria. So in nitrate reduction test, the culture medium is embedded with 1% potassium nitrate. So it will be incubated into 2 ml of sodium nitrate at 37 degrees for 2 hours. So meron na ngayong actually commercially available na nitrate strips. So you can just test it, unlike here na kailangan pa siyang i-incubate. So Mycobacterium tuberculosis will always produce a strongly positive nitrate test. So this one is just like niacin. So my MTB, positive sa niacin, positive sa nitrate. So pag tinanong ano yung reagent, sulfonilic acid and N-ethylene diamine dihydrochloride. Pero what is the indicator? That is zinc. What are the expected results? So, dapat mag-red color si Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Pag negative naman, no color change, just like in niacin. Okay. Next is aryl sulfatase. So for aryl sulfatase, so this is an enzyme that is present in most mycobacterial species. So this is used to break down phenolphthalein disulfate into free phenolphthalein. So this one, if ma-expose sa sodium bicarbonate, it will produce a red color. So it helps to differentiate certain strains of mycobacteria. So once na nagkaroon ng release or liberation of the free phenolphthalein, if gagamit ka ng sodium bicarbonate, it can turn into red or sometimes pink coloration. So sino yung mga positive? Mycobacterium fortuitum complex, Chelonae, Cenote, Marinum, Zulkai. So these ones are the positive. Pero dapat 14 days of incubation. Si Marinum naman is also slow growing. So silang dalawa, kailangan 14 days. So ano ang itsura ngayon ng positive aryl sulfatase? So this one is positive, so pink or sometimes reddish. So this one, walang color reaction. So that's for aryl sulfatase test. So take note, negative si Mycobacterium tuberculosis complex for aryl sulfatase if tested within 3 days. Okay, next test, catalase test. So meron pa rin catalase test ang Mycobacterium tuberculosis kasi we try to check if the organism, especially Mycobacterium tuberculosis complex, has the enzyme to split hydrogen peroxide into water and oxygen. So the thing for catalase test, we can do also semi-quantitative na type of catalase test. So, i-determine natin yung height of bubbles. Kasi di ba ang positive test for catalase is the existing effervescence. Now, for Mycobacterium, we can do it semi-quantitatively in which we test for the height of the bubbles. So, that's somehow a semi-quantitative type of testing. So, pwede natin siyang i-check for the two groups of organism pag less than 45 millimeters and for more than 45 millimeters. So, take note of that. So, aside from that, we can also do a heat-stable catalase test. So, we will check if the catalase enzyme is able to remain active after heating at 68 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes. So the catalase of Mycobacterium tuberculosis, Mycobacterium bovis, Mycobacterium gastri, inactivated yung catalase nila when heated. Pero itong mga Mycobacterium organisms na to, positive pa rin. So yung catalase nila ay heat stable, but for Mycobacterium tuberculosis, negative. Take note ha, so si Mycobacterium tuberculosis ay positive for nitrate, positive for niacin, negative for aryl sulfatase, and negative for heat stable catalase test. Okay, not the normal catalase, the heat stable catalase test, negative siya. Okay. Twin 80 hydrolysis or hydrolysis of twin 80. So sometimes the non-pathogenic Mycobacterium can produce a certain lipase that will hydrolyze this detergent or the twin 80. So magiging oleic acid siya and polyoxoethylated sorbitol. So this one, kayang gawin na non-pathogenic Mycobacterium while the pathogenic species cannot. So we can differentiate its species through hydrolysis of twin 80. So when there is twin 80 existing, the color is neutral red or amber. When it is hydrolyzed, it can now no longer bind in the neutral red na indicator. So, nagiging pink siya. So, we use this to distinguish scotochromogens and non-photochromogens Mycobacterium, which will be seen in the next slide. So, ano ba yung ibig sabihin nito nila? So, this one, negative C, Mycobacterium tuberculosis. So, positive sa nitrate, positive sa niacin, negative sa aryl sulfatase, sa heat-stable catalase test, and sa hydrolysis of twin 80. Negative. Okay. So pink color, positive, negative if wala. So what are other tests we can use as biochemical testing? So tellurite reduction, so the ability of an organism to reduce potassium tellurite. So it will distinguish Mycobacterium avium complex from other organisms or species. So all rapid growers can reduce tellurite in 3 days. Urease naman is to check for Mycobacterium scrofulaceum. So it is urease positive. The ability to inhibit TCH or thiopine carboxylic acid hydrazide, this one. So this is used to distinguish Mycobacterium bovis from Mycobacterium tuberculosis kasi only Mycobacterium bovis is unable to grow in the presence of 10 milligram per ml of TCH. So take note of that. 10 milligram per ml of TCH. Able to grow, unable to grow. And growth in McConkey agar, so the Mycobacterium fortuitum cheloni complex can grow on MAC without crystal violet. Remember, they are gram-positive bacilli. So ano yung ginagamit natin na treatment for tuberculosis? So ito yung tinatawag natin na first line or the RIPES. Rifampicin, isoniazid, ethambutol, streptomycin, pyrazinamide. So, RIPES. Pero when you do perform what we call as gene expert, ang titingnan lang is existing resistance or susceptibility sa rifampicin and isoniazid. Sila kasi yung main agents of anti-tuberculosis drugs. So if second line naman, you can use cyclosporin, ethionamide, p-aminosalicylic acid, and these other anti-bacterial treatments. Again, this is important because you do the testing in the field for resistance against these antibiotics. Kayo yung magre-release ng result nito. So how do we prevent Mycobacterium tuberculosis? Again, we use the BCG, Bacillus of Calmette and Guerin vaccination. Bibigay yan sa newborn babies intradermally. And ano yung gamit natin to prepare for this type of vaccine? That is an attenuated Mycobacterium bovis. So this one prevents Mycobacterium tuberculosis but does not guarantee na never na magkaroon ng pulmonary TB. So yung main talaga niya na pine-prevent is extra pulmonary tuberculosis. Okay, so that's for prevention. Bacillus of Calmette and Guerin. So remember this one. Okay, so this one, ito yung sinabi ko on earlier slides, the different classifications of non-tuberculous mycobacterial group or the Runyon classification. So we try to distinguish these organisms depending on their ability to grow or develop pigment in light or dark. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have photochromogens, scotochromogens, non-photochromogens, and the rapid growers. So the photochromogens, based on their name, photo, so they will develop pigment on exposure to light after being grown in the dark. So, and they take longer than 7 days to appear on solid media. For scotochromogens naman, they develop pigment either in the dark or the light. So photo, light. Scoto, both. Again, longer than 7 days. For non-photochromogens, so from the word non-photo, they will not produce any pigment with dark or light. So again, more than 7 days. Pag sinabing rapid growers naman, they grow less than 7 days in the solid media. So that's how we differentiate these ones. So in terms of biochemical tests, the rapid growers can grow on McConkey agar, they are nitrate positive, and they hydrolyze twin 80. So for non-photochromogens, they have heat-resistant catalase and urease, mostly. For photochromogens, they are positive din sa urease and niacin twin 80. So they have that certain characteristic. So for photochromogens, sorry. Photochromogens ito and scotochromogens yun. Heat catalase positive. For non-photochromogens naman, for scotochromogens, they are positive in semi-quantitative catalase. So, paano nga natin masabi yung semi-quantitative catalase? Dapat more than 45 millimeter yung height of bubbles. So, take note of that. Ha? So, yan yung summary of differentiation in terms of pigment and in terms of biochemical testing. Okay, other species of Mycobacterium infecting men. So, Mycobacterium bovis, it is transmitted to humans via ingestion of raw milk. So, ano ang itsura niya biochemically? Negative siya for niacin, negative siya for nitrate, and it is susceptible sa TCH. So that is totally opposite of Mycobacterium tuberculosis. But similar siya in a way that they also can be seen na producing serpentine cords in smears. So meron din siyang cord factor. Again, bovis, raw milk. So wag kayong mag-ingest ng raw milk. Make sure na na-process somehow. Next, another important Mycobacterium species ay Mycobacterium leprae or the Hansen's bacillus. So this is how the microscopic morphology of Mycobacterium leprae looks like. So meron siyang palisade arrangement. So it's like the Corynebacterium diphtheriae, merong palisade arrangement, but for this one, it appears as cigar packets. And they contain phenolase or phenolase. It is obtained from a lepromatous skin nodule. So Mycobacterium leprae is the agent of leprosy or Hansen's bacillus. So how do we cultivate Mycobacterium leprae? As again, we said last time, it cannot be cultured on an artificial medium. So gumagamit ngayon ng armadillos or footpads of mice if exposed to low temperature. So this is how it looks like if the patient has leprosy. So this is how the clinical infection of Mycobacterium leprae looks like. So meron tayong tinatawag na tuberculoid or anesthetic type. So it's non-progressive and there can only be few bacilli per lesion. And for lepromatous or nodular type naman, it is the most extensive form. So masyadong maraming Mycobacterium leprae sa lesions. So this one has been known to be eradicated before, pero actually maraming patients na may leprosy sa Davao City and also some parts of Mindanao. Nadedetect na siya ulit na it has been observed to be existing in numbers. So ano ang pwedeng test na gawin for Mycobacterium leprae? So we can do lepramin test. So ang ginagawa ay skin test just like in Mycobacterium tuberculosis na PPD. But this problem with this one is it lacks specificity. Next is ano ang itsura ng reaction na makukuha natin from lepramin test. So mayroong tinatawag na early Fernandez reaction or late Mitsuda reaction. So the induration will appear after 24 to 48 hours. Pag early, yung late is 3 to 4 weeks. So masyadong matagal. So anong ginagawa na lang? Kumukuha ng lesion from a suspected area na merong Mycobacterium leprae, tapos gagawa ng acid-fast stain or through Wade-Fite technique. Take note, Wade-Fite technique. So acid-fast staining of the leper cells. So how do we help prevent? BCG vaccination, chemoprophylaxis with sulfone-dapsone. But take note, if the patient is positive with G6PD deficiency, hindi siya pwede nito. Kasi mag-hemolyze yung red blood cells. So that G6PD deficiency, you will learn more of that in Hematology 1. Okay. Another species, Mycobacterium ulcerans. So from the name ulcerans, they are associated with ulcers, skin lesions typically in some parts of Africa. So it will produce actually domed lemon yellow colonies on egg-based media, but ang problem is it is biochemically inert, so hindi siya masyadong makakakuha ng positive test biochemically. And the treatment is surgical removal talaga of that part na infected. So that's very invasive. What are the other classifications? So ito yung nakita natin kanina, Mycobacterium tuberculosis complex. So that's those mentioned na earlier. And the non-tuberculous mycobacteria, we have this one classified under the growth and pigment production or yung Runyan scheme seen in the previous slides, and non-cultivable in our artificial media. So that's Mycobacterium leprae. So these are the MOTS or NTMs. Okay. So ano yung itsura ng light pigment? So this one. Or yellow to orange pigmented colonies after exposure to light. So Mycobacterium kansasii, yellow bacillus, Mycobacterium marinum, agent of swimming pool granuloma. Kansasii, yellow bacillus, marinum, swimming pool granuloma. Scotochromogens can produce either in light and dark. So orange pigmented colony. So pag sinabing Mycobacterium cenope, it is described as a bird's nest kasi they can produce aerial hyphae on certain agars. Mycobacterium gordonae, remember, topwater bacillus, and the Scrofulaceum cervical lymphadenitis. Kaya niyang mag-cause ng cervical lymphadenitis, Scrofulaceum. This one is non-photochromic agents. So no pigments, whether in light or darkness. Example, Mycobacterium avium intracellular complex, or otherwise known as Batibacillus. It is common in patients with immunosuppressed state or those with AIDS. So binibigyan sila ng special anti-mycobacterial drugs kasi they are usually infected with these non-tubercle mycobacteria. And Mycobacterium terrae or the radish bacillus. Rapid growers, yun na yung Fortuitum, Chelonae complex, Play, and Smegmatis. So this is sometimes isolated sa smegma. So if you can remember in your reproductive histology. Okay, so that's for Mycobacterium